Now, one of the things that you just brought up, man, you're talking about energy, right, and the different frequencies. And some people, they'll start, will lose them a little bit when it comes to like the frequencies. And in my opinion, that's the future of medicine.
Yeah, I mean, everything comes with a frequency. I mean, everything, these cameras, these wall outlets.
Everything.
We talking about electricity. We talking about photons, electrons, protons. All of these are a part of an energetic field. Quantum mechanics and quantum computers are now even verifying all of this stuff.
Right.
Everything starts off in this energetic field. The same minerals that we need, they are cations and anions.
Right.
And when you start getting into cations and anions, it traces back to what? Energetic. Some have a positive charge, some have a negative charge.
Right.
It's charged by what? So when you really look at biochemistry, human biology, plant biology, marine biology, the basis of it is still energetic. It's not taught from that standpoint in America. But when you go to most places in the world, especially in the Eastern Hemisphere, they teach these principles that the energy or the spirit, the mind and emotion and the flesh, or what we'll call the human body, is entangled, is all in one. And that's why you can see they have something called psychoneuroimmunology. That means that my mindset, whether I'm in a state of psychosis or not, will have a functional influence on my cells. And you know, Dr. Bruce Lipton talk about this all the time, the biology of belief. You can believe something that changed the molecule of your molecular structure.
Change your mind and you can come right back to health again. And I want people to know that, because I say you don't have to kill the cancer cells with radiation. You don't have to kill them with chemotherapy. You have to change the thinking. The cancer will go away on its own. How powerful we are when we understand the source of the problem. Don't look down here. That's not where the problem starts. Problem starts here.
And these are documented. And you start reading these books and you start looking up the paperwork, and then you start seeing, oh, they haven't been talking about psychoneuroimmunology. They only been talking about this for 20 years. So these are new concepts that ancient scrolls and books have been talking about for thousands of years, but modern day science is just now catching up to it. And we have to understand that emotions have a chemical effect on the body. When you're mad and when you're angry, that's epinephrine. When you're in a state of fight or flight, there's neuroepinephrine, and that's adrenaline. That's by the adrenal glands. When you're binding to your significant other and you falling in love, that's oxytocin. You know, when you learning something and you feel good, that's serotonin. That's a dopamine response that actually feeds the reward center of the brain. So all of these energy emotions, where we get emotions from, have a biological and a molecular chemical exchange with the body. So if you can tap into the energetic part, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you don't need to put in herbs and things like that. You tap into the energetic part, you find that emotion, you believe in it, and then you express how you would feel if it already had happened, and then you start doing the things that you need to do, like detoxification, changing up your diet, and you start seeing immediate changes in your body.
Right.
And we see it all the time. So, you know, back to what you said, what's wrong with America? It's the mindset. And it's funny, when you start reading into ancient literature, they call America Babylon. And Babylon in the Hebrew tongue, it means to babble. It means to be confused, to turn backwards. And that's what's going on. So I think we need to return this the right way. And another word that means to turn back or go the right way is actually repent. So in essence, America needs to repent. We need to turn back, because right now we're in a Babylon stage, which means to babble or means to confuse. The first thing anybody should do when they find out that something is not going right with their body, they need to sit down and examine, what am I bringing into my body? And I'm talking about food for thought first. You got to, what are you bringing into your cipher? What are you bringing into your senses, in your mind? Then after that, what am I putting in my physical avatar? And then once you see that these things are not on the same energetics that you are operating on, it's time to change them.
Right.
And this is from my own personal testimonies. I have literally detoxed over 150,000 people. Wow. Over 150,000 documented through groups, through retreats, and through the thousands that come into my clinic physically. And what we see is a lot of people come in and don't heal or don't receive what they want is because of their mindset. We had a man come in the facility probably like 2 months ago, and he kept saying, I'm a dead man walking. He had prostate cancer. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. And Nabi, my assistant, had to tell him, like, you keep talking like that, that's going to be your reality. Just start changing these things. And then the whole concept of disease need to be talked about with America. What is the concept of disease, and how do we come up with these terminologies? Because the more and more I research and the more I do my experiments, it's turning out that disease is not what is being said it is.
90% of all chronic disease stems from this one lie.
Would you say that the first step in healing is the shift of mindset?
Gotta be the shift of mindset. All of the people that come to my facility fly there. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. So if you want to come see me, you have to have the will to want to live to come see me. Based off my name, my reputation, and all of the good healing testimonies, thousands of them out there. So the first thing I say, they come in crying, head down. You know, they just in this sad state. I say, put your chin up. The hard part done. You believed enough in yourself and in these methodologies that you spent all this money getting to me. You hear it.
Yeah, right.
And once they start changing their perception and looking at it that way, now the healing begin.
Right.
Because your mindset can be to the point where you put so much cortisol and stress on your body, you shut down detoxification and metabolic pathways.
Right.
Meaning I could put as many herbs in you as I want, but since you have such a state of fight or flight and cortisol is so high, guess what cortisol do? Brings on insulin resistance. It stops you from absorbing. So now you malabsorb.
The small intestine is the longest part of the digestive tract and can be over 20 feet long. But the reason why it's so long is because it is the main area of absorption.
It shuts down the kidneys because the adrenals are too focused on the state of fight or flight. It's not worried about filtrating toxins. It takes the blood away from all of the center, which is your gut, and it put it in your extremities because you either fighting or you running for your life.
It's like this defense mechanism.
Cells cannot defend themselves and grow at the same time. They choose one, and they're going to choose survival. It's called adaptation. They're going to choose survival mode. So now you're not growing. First thing I try to go after is the mindset. Once the reprogramming come, the herbs is the easy part. And a lot of people think herbs heal. Herbs do not heal. The body heals itself. What herbs do is herbs tone, they strengthen, and they help influence detoxification. But the herbs don't detox you. The herbs connect with enzymes, and the enzymes that's already within your molecular structure turn on these detoxification
So
pathways.
let me ask you this. Would you say the herbs are signaling?
Energetic signaling.
Right.
And when you look at herbs, what are you looking at the herbs for? The nutrients, the protons, the electrons, the neutrons,
Right.
the enzymes. Same thing as in food. And then a lot of people disassociate herbs with food, and it's like, well, all herbs is dried vegetables. So once you really start just looking at it, not from a scientific lens, but you take your intellectual cap off and you just go in nature and you be real simplistic about it. Healing is simple.
It really is.
We making it hard,
Right.
man.
Would you say that stress can kill somebody?
Stress does kill. Stress kills.
Is there a difference between good stress and bad stress?
The body needs stress. Stress is very, very important as well. For instance, when you wake up at 6 a.m., when the sun come out, that's blue light spectrum that's coming from the actual sun. That's a stress hormone. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., cortisol rise.
Cortisol is a steroid hormone that helps regulate the metabolic and immune pathways of our body. Cortisol belongs to the glucocorticoid class of hormones produced by a pair of adrenal glands which are located above each kidney.
And the reason why cortisol rise, because it works with serotonin. This is what makes you serious. This is where you get serotonin from. It makes you serious.
Right.
Then the cortisol starts tapering off and declining during the day for melatonin can come in and make you mellow for you can go to sleep. So, you need cortisol. Cortisol is very, very essential for the body. And if I'm in the wilderness and I see a lion or a tiger and bear, I will hope that my adrenals will know how to release a bunch of cortisol
Right.
for I can go.
Right.
So you need it for fight or flight, but you're not supposed to be in fight or flight the whole time.
Right.
Cortisol is one of the most leading causes to what I would say, I got to do quote unquote disease than anything else. And if you look at the program and the 9 to 5s that they got us in, you look at the rat race that they got us on, we chasing money to pay bills and we never happy. We working to be 60 to just get a small thing that they call a pension or retirement. They're putting us in these cubicles away from the natural sun. We can't go through natural bio photomodulation. We drinking contaminated water. All of our foods got microplastics in it. And let's not even talk about the seed oil epidemic that is really fueling heart disease.
Yep.
You know, really it's really the way we cooking our food and using these seed oils, very rancid, very rancid. So when you look at it from that standpoint, our body is constantly fighting.
Right.
So we in a state of fight or flight 24 hours out of the day, when technically, according to the circadian rhythm, you only supposed to be in a light stage of fight or flight for 2 to 4 hours a day, unless you in the wilderness and you're running from your life. So insulin resistance kick in, the glycocalyx and the glycobiome, or what you'll call the microbiome, get very disrupted. You know, you start getting all of these different symptomologies, and then what we do is we run to the doctor to get our symptomologies checked out, and they will give a name to those symptomologies called a disease. But if you look at what the body's doing, the body is constantly trying to recalibrate and regulate itself, which is a healing mechanism, a healing response.